Another week, another Mike Trout play that just makes no sense whatsoever. Hello guys, welcome back to Grav Slams, the series where I react to the biggest and best MLB plays of the week. My name is Grav and we got so much to talk about in week 3 of the MLB season. We got some amazing base runner moments, some huge gaffes, and some awesome fan moments. But what were the biggest plays and the best plays of this week throughout the MLB? Well, watch till the end for all of the best moments and make sure you hit that subscribe button to the Sportsnet YouTube channel for the best sports coverage around. And without further ado, let's get in to the absolute craziness. Now, I know what you may be thinking, Grav, those are some awesome jerseys behind you, and although you would be right, we gotta get into the meat and potatoes of this video because we got so many amazing moments to talk about. The jerseys can wait for a few minutes, but the first moment I want to talk about here over the last week in the MLB was an amazing moment with Mike Trout and just what he has been able to do. Now, I want to show you an image here. He fishes for this pitch, and it does go into play. I want you to guess, though, what was the result of this hit? Was it a ground ball out? Was it a single maybe? What actually happened? What do you think happened? Well, let's go on to the clip and the answer may surprise you.
Coming into this one, red hot. Well, excuse me, swing, fair ball. Trout hustling to second. Is he thinking 3? Mike Trout on his way for a triple. Head first slide, he's in there.
Trouty, we showed him earlier, 10 years ago, the speed. Look at the speed here. He goes, excuse me, slider. Gets it by Miller, and he sees exactly where it goes, and Trout thinking, you know what? I'm not satisfied with a double. I'm going to pick up Phil Nevin here as he's going around. He's going to pick it up and slide in there with a triple for Trout. Lorenzen going, yes!
The fact that this man, Mike Trout, was basically auditioning for the Masters and still got a triple out of it is simply sensational. I mean, as a Rangers fan, obviously, I don't love the Angels too much, but you gotta respect what Mike Trout is doing out here. I mean, still, to get that, although the outfielder was in a terrible position, he was up deep and had to go all the way out for it. At the same time, for Mike Trout to have the awareness and already be thinking for the triple is fantastic. I mean, again, fishing for the pitch like he was and to still get that type of result, it feels like only Mike Trout could be able to do something like that. Now we're going to continue with the Angels and some amazing moments here. This one features Taylor Ward, who at the start was trying to get a timeout call. The ump did not give it to him, but later in that at-bat, something special happened.
That was interesting. Taylor Ward.
Yeah, you don't have to, as a home plate umpire, award that to a hitter, even though you can call timeout. Doesn't have to give you it.
Time, strike.
You know, his stuff and his strike and the way it works.
Taylor Ward drives that one. Center field. He made. Now that one's gone. Home run call. Angels are on the board.
But honestly, I really have to respect Taylor Ward here. Look at his eyes. Look at the posture. This is the look of a man that is ready to send a ball to friggin' Neptune. He didn't quite get there, but at the same time, if I could grow up to be as big of a hater as Taylor Ward is, I'll take that. But next up, let's move on to one of the more controversial and interesting moments of this past week, with the star of the show being Kyle Schwarber, who, in my opinion, gave some much-needed criticism, let's say, to umpire Angel Hernandez.
Here it comes. Called strike 3, and Schwarber is thrown out of the game, and he had zero issue with getting thrown out, making it very clear. You've missed him inside, outside, up and down. Kyle Schwarber thrown out after being punched out by Angel Hernandez. Joe may go too. Now, Schwarber is speaking for both sides tonight. We saw a lot of those demonstrations, none like that. We certainly saw them as the players were going back to the bench.
Carl, I don't blame Kyle Schwarber one bit. As a hitter, the one pitch that you can't come back from is strike 3.
And in my opinion, I think Kyle Schwarber is totally in the right here, especially if you watch baseball whatsoever. You would know that Angel Hernandez is just one of the worst umpires in the entire league, no doubt. And I'm glad that somebody is trying to hold him accountable. But in my opinion, my favorite moment of this entire thing was right after Angel Hernandez called that ball a strike. You see Josh Hader, the pitcher, making the funniest expression ever. Even he knew he was getting away with highway robbery, and you could tell Schwarber, Hader, everybody in the stadium, everybody watching knew that was a strike, and especially for Josh Hader's side of things, it just makes it even more funny. But now let's go on to the last umpire-related clip of today's video, going to a moment in the A's and Giants game. The Giants were one strike away from closing out the game completely. It was 8-2. The entire crowd was getting antsy, and I want you to just hear in the background to what this certain fan says, because it is perfect.
The 2-2 pitch to Pache, and that's just inside 3-2.
One of the best parts of this clip was that it actually was a ball, so the ump was right, but it didn't matter. To everybody in that stadium, especially Giants fans, they just wanted to have the game close out and they wanted to go home. And especially for the guy saying, "Don't you want to go home, Blue?" It gets me every single time. I mean, this guy could have easily just blown out a horrible chirp, but the guy's got some talent, I must say. Now we're going to go on to another amazing fan moment in the stands. This was another game with the Giants. They were in Milwaukee, and there was a certain Bruins fan that was heckling the heck out of Jock Peterson, and Peterson ended up taking the whole situation into his own hands and making that fan look pretty silly.
Fly ball deep right center. And the Giants take the lead. And as Jock Peterson is going to touch home plate here, he's going to look right at those fans.
Yeah, as you see that fan, maybe that's the guy saying wah, 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 or whatever.
Behind home plate, and then he let them know who got the last laugh. Got him.
Now, to be honest, if I was that fan, I'd probably zip up my mouth and never say a word for the rest of my entire life. I mean, in the first place, heckling one of the coolest players in the MLB and Jock Peterson is a no-no, but also to have Peterson hit a home run right after that is simply the cherry on top. But let's move on from a fan and crowd moment that's quite embarrassing to a crowd moment that actually warms my heart every single time. Although Yankees fans weren't exactly in the headlines for the greatest reasons this past week, at the same time there was an amazing moment between Aaron Judge and a young fan that every single one of you guys should see. But this is one of those moments that they always love seeing, and I've never ever seen something like this. Obviously, now that cameras are everywhere in ballparks, it's a lot more easy to see things like this. But at the same time, for Aaron Judge to just play catch with a younger fan in between innings, I've never seen something like that, but it just shows how much of a class act Aaron Judge is. One of the best players in the MLB, but also one of the best humans, just making a kid's day, and thankfully both of them were great throwers at the same time. So it was awesome, and that Yankees fan will have an absolutely amazing story to tell his first grade friends and he definitely deserves it. Now, speaking of amazing play on the base paths, let's go on to the game between the Mets and the Cardinals, and I want to put you in the situation. The Mets were down 1-2. There were runners on second and third. It was 2 outs, and Dom Smith was coming up to the plate, one of the most beautiful MLB players out there. But Dom Smith hits a ball right to first, and I just want to show you what happened.
Dead. And Dom pulls one over the bag. Goldschmidt with a sprawling stop. The race to the bag, and Dom is safe. And 2-run score, and the Mets take the lead. Unbelievable. Goldschmidt with a great play, but Gallegos slow getting off the mound, and Dom Smith beat him to the bag. Jankowski and McNeil both race home, and the Mets lead it 3-2 in the ninth. Absolutely unbelievable.
And this moment is just incredible because it wasn't just Dom Smith being safe and still diving in to get to first. It was also the fact that not just one runner scored, 2 runners scored, and the Mets took the lead. I mean, just the effort, the hustle by Dom Smith, and the awareness by all the base runners to get there and still go to home is miraculous. I mean, this play, in most ways, should have been somewhat routine. It was an awkward play for the first baseman having to go all the way to the right, but at the same time, the awareness of Dom Smith is incredible, and he put his team on his back and got the lead with that one single play. Now, for our best and our last moment in today's video, we're gonna go to a pretty easy one in my opinion. Looking at the past week of MLB plays, there was no other moment that was as influential, as exciting, and as important really as Miggy getting his 3,000th hit. After we saw the shenanigans in that Yankees series where Aaron Boone at the last moment intentionally walked Miggy, robbing him from his 3,000th hit in a big moment, he would eventually get his dues in the next series versus Colorado, and it would be magical.
Right side, there it is! His 3,000th, the third Tiger to ever do it!
Miggy's definitely one of those players that growing up in the mid-2000s and early 2010s was one of the players I grew up watching a lot, especially in the early 2010s, how elite he was. And to see him get into the 3,000 hit club is just sensational. One of the best hitters of all time, one of the most consistent hitters of all time. And to see all the excitement from everybody, including the Rockies and Iglesias, is just fantastic. He means so much to baseball, means so much to the baseball world, and to see him get number 3,000, it's an easy Grav Slam crown in my opinion, and Miggy has the best moment of this past week. There was no debate, it had to be Miggy, the absolute king. But that will be it for today's Grav Slams. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to the Sportsnet YouTube channel for the best sports coverage around. Make sure you comment down below what you guys think of these moments, the best plays of the MLB over the past week. Let me know your thoughts down below. Of course, make sure you share this video with your friends, get it out there to any sports or baseball fans you guys know, because they deserve the recap. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing day, drink some water, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.